TRIPPIE REDD is one of the most popular artists of today. He has been making waves in the music industry since 2017 when he blew up with songs like Love Scars and Dark Knight Demo. He has been making hits for years and in my opinion is one of the most unique and special artists coming from the SoundCloud Underground era. He is also responsible for Mr. Rage, which you probably heard like a billion times, so yeah. Recently though, a lot of his stuff besides Mr. Rage hasn't been received too well.
I hope whatever Pegasus that TRIPPIE REDD found himself on while recording this album flies him far, far away from this galaxy so we don't ever have to get another atrocity as close as this. This album is garbage.
But as you can see from the title, I am not here to bash any of his, mid albums. Instead, I want to talk about one of his best albums and one of my favorite albums of all time, A Love Letter to You 3. And yes, I know that's kind of an insane claim to say this is my favorite album, but I grew up listening to Lil Yachty and fucking XXXTentacion and Ski Mask and Lil Xan, so give me a break. I live in a gated community, so yeah. But yeah, today I want to talk to you guys about why I love A Love Letter to You 3 and why I think it's his best album. And also, if you want me to do this for more albums, or you want to suggest albums for me to listen to and make a video on, please leave it down in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe. And okay guys, let's get on to the Tripster.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
Don't talk to strangers. Since a youngin' I've been told them bangers. I might take that little bitch to Topanga. I said stop little bitch, you in danger. Yeah.
So to start off the album, we have one of TRIPPIE's most popular, and in my opinion, best songs ever, Topanga. Now this song is just amazing. The beat is really catchy, super unique, really bouncy and energetic. TRIPPIE has so much energy and his singing and rapping is just great. Every line is super catchy and fun. It's so much fun to sing along to. And TRIPPIE shows so much personality on this track. with his ad-libs and vocal inflections. And I noticed he raps faster on this track than a lot of his others, and I love that. That's my favorite part of the song, when he gets a nice fast little flow going. It just sounds so good. I wish he did that on more songs. It's just really cool. Overall, this song is just really fun and gives nothing but good vibes. Next we have
Set it all ends in motherfucking flames. Said I'm a boss, bitch, ain't got no time for games. Proceed with caution, we killing, say no names.
This song is pretty different from Topanga, as it is a little bit slower and kind of more dark. So the transition might be weird at first, but to me it didn't matter since I also really like the song. TRIPPIE's hook caught my attention immediately. It is really good. The beat isn't too stand out like Topanga, but TRIPPIE's vocals and Imani's vocals make up for it. It's really catchy. And that's why I like this album so much. A lot of the songs are very different from each other, but each song has its own like catchy hook or catchy flow, something about it that I really like. And I like that he tries a lot of different styles and they're all bangers. And yeah, that's kind of like a good example of that. It goes from like a really good vibe, just upbeat, happy song, to like kind of like a slower, kind of more dark song, but it's still really good. The album has a really good flow to it. There's no like, for me there's no skips on this album. It's just perfect to listen to. TRIPPIE's hooks across this album is so amazing. It's kind of like a Skittles bag. Each flavor is different, but they all taste great in my opinion. Even if the vibes are different, it still meshes well together because every song is a banger. But speaking of songs that mesh well together, I feel like this next song meshes really well with Firestarter, and that is
Yeah, won't you help me? I need help, please. I need some more love. Yeah, won't you help me? This not healthy, but I need some more love. Yeah.
So this song is also pretty slow and gives off a similar vibe as Firestarter. TRIPPIE's vocals are really emotional and his lyrics are pretty emotional too. It's overall a pretty emotional song. It's a pretty relaxing song with the bounce of the drums being slower than like a typical trap song. It's kind of more R&B, I would say. And yeah, TRIPPIE does a really great job in my opinion on the song. And this is the start of the cool high-pitched vocals he has throughout the project, which I think is really cool. But yeah, this song is also really catchy, as I said. I'm gonna be saying that a lot about these songs, that the catchiness is probably the most like unique factor of it, or the most standout factor of these songs. It's just really catchy, sticks in your head, and these vocals are just amazing. The melodies are great, and yeah, I don't really have much to say about it because it's kind of like there's not that much to the song. It's just really cool. So yeah. So here we have a real slept on banger. This is
Bet they won't find me like Nemo. Yeah. Taking that bitch straight to Mickey D's. She want a burger and 10-piece. Might catch a murder, it's tempting. Want everybody remember me. I aim at the head of an enemy. I swear this little Dottie, she into me. I'm taking her soul and her energy.
This is a less melodic song. I would say he doesn't really sing like that much, or doesn't sound like he's like singing more. It's more like a melodic rap song, I would say. but it's still really catchy with his voice being really entertaining with his really fun flows and melodies. And the hook is really great. TRIPPIE did a great job. And next we have Cody Shane, who this is the first time I've heard of, and she did a great job. It kind of reminds me of Doja Cat in her voice, which is pretty cool. And the fact that she both sings and raps really well on this verse is amazing. Her voice is really good. It's super soft, but also really solid. Like, she can really sing and really rap. It just has like a really smooth, cool vibe to it. Her melodies are nice. I think she killed her verse. I wish she got to show off her vocal range more. I wish it was a little bit longer, but what she did was really good. And yeah, this whole song is a vibe. It's really slept on, and yeah, both artists did a great job.
She said she loved me. I think she loved me not. She said she loved me. I know she loved me not. She said she loved me. Love.
Can't Love is a nice change of pace, with this being an emotional guitar ballad, kind of like Love Me More from A Love Letter to You 4. I love the whistle and the guitar combo. It's just really nice. It has a really nice vibe to it. And TRIPPIE goes off on this song. His vocals are insane. The range and emotions in his voice, and he just sounds really good all over. His melodies are really catchy, not as catchy as the previous ones I've mentioned, but still, they're really sticking to your head. And he does a really cool thing where he chops up and reverses the beat at the end and has some ad-libs over and then plays it normal. And then, I don't know, it's just a really unique touch, and it's a cool thing to shake it up a little bit. But yeah, this song is also really cool. Now, the next one, I would say it's one of the fan favorites based on the streaming numbers. We have
Shawty do not play no games with me. Yeah, that shit is lame to me. Spend every night and every day with me. We gon' be alright, just take the pain with me. Yeah, baby, stay with me.
And I would agree, this is definitely one of the best songs from the album. The beat is crazy, super unique. I love the vocal sample, and the drums are really cool. But as much as I love the beat, TRIPPIE Red really stands out on this track. The hook is really catchy and smooth, and while this is definitely different from the other Love Scars, I like that he has his signature scream in there, and it kind of shows that while he's still the same person he was, he's moved on and his music has evolved with him. But yeah, it's just a really nice touch for the OG fans of Love Scars and Love Scars 2. His verse is also really smooth and catchy. It's just so good, and I love the end instrumental. It's so cool. There's not much to say about it, but just listen to it. It's amazing. Okay, so now we have another one of my favorites. I'm probably gonna say that for like every song I know, but bear with me. So this is...
Yeah, now why the fuck you wanna test me? I hit you with the right and the lefty. Yeah, your bitch was with you right when she left me. VVS, them diamonds ice, yeah, my neck bling. Nigga, your neck green. I took the gang out to eat and they ordered everything.
But this is definitely one of the harder songs on the project. TRIPPIE's delivery is definitely harder than a lot of the other songs on here. The beat is insane. I love this beat. I think it's really unique, really crazy. The guitar is so good, and the little bass hits are just amazing. TRIPPIE has a unique, kind of offbeat delivery, and now I normally don't really like offbeat slow rap, but he does it really well. He does it really well because of his melodic tones in it, and his melodies are really catchy, so it doesn't really bother me as much. I love the green rhyme scheme, like he really pronounces it as green when he says your next green. Like, I don't know, that's like one of like the part that always stands out to me the most. I just love it. It is really catchy. And now we have Baby Koth, who's a really unique case. A lot of people are talking about if she's an industry plan or not. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, it's just a very unique, kind of weird case how she got onto the song. But nonetheless, I think her verse is pretty good. I think a lot of people will be like kind of like off-put by it, by her voice. It's kind of like, it sounds kind of weird. I don't know, but I think her verse does kind of fit the song. If you listen to it enough, like I did, then you'll definitely get used to it and just sing along to it. So yeah, it's pretty weird, but I think I like it. I don't know. It's strange. But yeah, this song is definitely one of the highlights from the album. So next we have the Imani 22 interlude featuring Imani 22, which I think is basically all her. So yeah, it's really cool that he's dedicating a whole song to her, which means he has a lot of faith in her as an artist, which is cool that he's putting on smaller artists. And I think the song is really good. Her vocals are really cool. The beat is amazing. It's really crazy. It's not that memorable. Like, there's no like catchy lyrics or like standout parts that I really remember from the song, but if it was on her own project, or if she released it on her own, I think it would be a lot better. I don't know. It's a nice little break from the album, but I don't think it really fits that much. I wouldn't say to skip necessarily because it is a really good song, but it just doesn't really fit that well, I would say. But check it out because it's really good. Like, just check it out on its own. Don't listen to it in the context of the album, but just listen to it on its own. It's really good. I don't know.
It'll blow your fucking brain. You know we fly like some planes. All we do is elevate to the ceiling, 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 elevate. Yeah.
Okay, so next we have an absolute heater. I love this song and this has recently become one of my favorites. This hook is one of my favorites he's ever done. It's so energetic and catchy. It's just so hard. I love it so much. I don't know, it's something about it is so good. And then Youngboy came in really hard. I really love his part on the song. Him and TRIPPIE always do such an amazing job together. And normally I'm not a huge fan of Youngboy, but I really like when he does these type of songs. It's just he's really good at it. The soul sample here with the hard drums are just so good. I love everything about this song. It's so good. It's such a banger. Definitely slept on. I thought it would have more plays since it has Youngboy on it, but I guess not. But I don't know why it doesn't have like a billion plays or whatever, but yeah, definitely hard. Next we have
You can try, guarantee the shit won't work. You can go, guarantee the shit won't hurt. I can't deny I was fucking with you at first. Painkiller in disguise, I can feel a thing off the purse.
this is another big banger from the album. The hook is really catchy and fun, super fun to sing along to, and the verses are the same way. It's a very simple, cohesive song. It's very catchy and melodic, and I like Trippie's Love Scars-ish delivery in the hook. He's kind of bringing it back to the old days, kind of like the screaming-ish. I don't know, he's just really loud in the hook, I guess, but it sounds really good. There isn't much to say. It's kind of like a standard for the album, which it's definitely not a bad thing at all. It has really catchy flows, inflections, fun melodies, all that sort of stuff. Not much to say, but I think it fits the album really well.
We'll go to the moon and the stars. We'll go to the moon and the stars. We'll go to the moon and the stars. We get them stars in my ceiling. We'll go to the moon and the stars. We'll go to the moon and the stars. We'll go to the moon and the stars. We get them stars in my ceiling.
Now this is a song that I really slept on when I first listened to the album. Now recently listening to the album back again, I really like the song. He has a lot of cool tones and inflections and mixes super well with the trippy, spacey kind of beat with the kind of R&B drums. It's just a really nice vibe. I like the little wicked high-pitched ad-libs too. I think it adds a really nice touch. And overall this is another really good catchy song. Kind of the same thing as I Tried Loving. It fits the album really well. And now we have another real ballad. This song is really good.
Yeah. Living in this fucking life with sin. Yeah, hoping that they're gonna let us in. Yeah, open up them gates and let us in. Yeah, I'm blowing down with that fin. If that's my brother to the end. That's my brother, not my motherfucking friend. That's my woody, that's my slime, that's my kid. This a Rick, this ain't no motherfucking bitch.
The guitar is so great. Trippie's vocals are so emotional, they sound so good. And his flows and melodies are really smooth too. And I don't know, man, everything is just so good. It's a really good catchy ballad over a sick guitar beat. What's not to like? He sounds really confident in his singing is dope, his flows are dope. Everything about it is just dope, emotional, it's great. And this part is really great. It's super wholesome. I don't know, but I think it's just one of the most iconic parts of the whole album.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Da-da-da-da. Big 14, bitch.
As you can tell, I'm not the best at explaining music and how I feel about it. I'm trying to get better, but yeah. I just like to shed light on some of my favorite songs and explain why I like them. So yeah, listen to the album to get the full experience, obviously. So yeah. And now we have one of the most iconic songs off the album, probably the most iconic one besides Topanga. But this is.
I put that bitch in the back with the Burberry on. And to this day, that little bitch know all my songs. My chopper like Kid and Play, put a bullet hole in your afro. Walk in the bank, I'm laughing, no. These niggas square like Madison, no. I ball out like Madison, no.
This is most definitely a standout track. This beat is one of my favorite beats I've ever heard. Like, I don't even know how to explain how much I love it. It's incredible. It's so unique, so amazing. I don't know, one of the most iconic rap beats over the last 5 years, in my opinion. And then of course we have Juice WRLD doing the hook. Man, this is one of my favorite Juice WRLD songs ever. Like, he fucking killed it. Everything about it, the lyrics, the singing, the flows, melodies, everything is just so smooth. Just everything he sounds so confident, just so wavy. Everything he touches is great like this, so yeah. And now we actually have TRIPPIE REDD, which was a really nice transition from Juice WRLD to his verse. I thought it was super smooth, he fit right in. And it also makes a lot of sense seeing them record the song together. I'll put that in the description down below if you guys want to see it. Yeah, the chemistry between them was amazing. And it makes sense why the song came out so good. They were in the studio together, just bouncing off each other. It was great. TRIPPIE's verse is super good. He rides the beat super well. His melodies, everything about it sticks into your head. The whole song is just like super cohesive, super catchy, super memorable. Everything about it is super memorable. But yeah, I would say this is a must hear from the album. If you had to listen to one song, I would implore you to listen to this song, but I'm sure you guys have. It has like 300 million plays. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's underrated, but definitely not as talked about as I think it should. So now we can have like a slow kind of love song from TRIPPIE REDD called
You give me life, you give me light, you give me a reason why I said give me time. You give me high when you cross my mind.
Yeah, who needs suicide when I feel so alive with you? And you know I would die for you. Jesus, sweet baby, know I would cry for you. Yeah, yeah, die for you.
And even though I'm pretty sure it's a love song, I like the song because the concept can be applied to anything. It's basically TRIPPIE expressing his feelings about a girl, I think, and he says like, you give me a reason to be alive, that's in the hook, and it's telling her that she makes him so happy that he doesn't even think about suicide or he's not even depressed anymore or anything like that, and he found a new light in his life, which I think is a really nice message. And it can be applied to anything, music, your hobby, you know, a love interest, anything like that. So I think it's a really nice song to sing along to. It just makes you happy, makes you appreciate life. And yeah, like most of TRIPPIE's music, it's really catchy, infectious, fun, just really nice to sing along to. It's always great when he gets into his higher register, which he does here, and yeah, of course it's amazing. There's also a really cool distortion effect at the end. It's just awesome. It's just a really good feel-good track that I appreciate so much. I think this is a very underappreciated song off the album. It may not be everyone's favorite. I mean, people may like the more emotional, hard version of TRIPPIE REDD, but I like when he gets a little bit more positive in his music. I think it's great. And yeah, it's a nice song about appreciating life that I think everyone needs.
I can't do that shit slow. No, my mind worth more than diamonds and gold. Yeah, yeah. 1400 till I fucking die. Pussy nigga, fuck your life. Cross me is like suicide. We be shooting shit like Columbine. You been sleep on me like lullabies. I'm just really tryna know your mind. I'm just really tryna know your mind.
Okay, so now we kind of have a full-on R&B song with Diamond Mines featuring Elliot Trent and Tory Lanez. Now, Diamond Mines is probably the most smooth song on the album, with TRIPPIE, Elliot Trent, who I never heard before, and Tory Lanez just going off and their feelings and their singing. It's in their singing bag, it's great. The beat is great with a really slow, kind of jazzy feel. It's just super smooth, melodic, everything like that. TRIPPIE always does a great job on this beat, and even though he kind of does his usual style of singing, it fits really well on the song. His flows are still super catchy and fun, and they get stuck in your head like crazy. And then Elliot Trent comes in super smooth, like, oh my god. It's crazy. His voice is amazing. His flows, he can really sing. He would probably be the best part of the song for a lot of people, just due to how good his singing is. And then we have Tory Lanez, the GOAT. He did pretty well. His high voice is a little bit jarring. Like, his high voice is really high, but his flows and singing are still good. I might have chosen someone else, like maybe like Bryson Tiller or like The Weeknd, Brent Faiyaz. I think they might have been a better choice, but Tory Lanez still did very well. It's really funny how at the end he says this though.
Respect and I get that shorty. Let my nigga TRIPPIE sing that for me.
But there is no hook at the end, so I guess there just wouldn't have been another hook, or there was supposed to be a hook but they cut it out, so it's just him saying this to nothing, so I think it's pretty funny. Alright guys, so now we're at the end of the album, the very last track, a beautiful acoustic track called
Will it take my death to see
my destiny. They say I live in a fantasy. I'm just lit off Hennessy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This song is also really fucking good, no surprises here. It's really relaxing, Trippie's vocals are really good, and somehow he fits the acoustic guitar track. He has a weirdly like emotional voice, like his voice is like always, his voice is kind of like very emotional to begin with, so I don't know, it's just very cool. There isn't much to say about the song, it's just a beautiful way to close the album out with a great solo at the end. Trippie adds like a pitched up version of the hook at the end, which is a nice touch. And yeah, that kind of wraps up the album, just a beautiful acoustic track from TRIPPIE REDD. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. If you end up liking it, please leave a like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Go check out this album, it's really good. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, I'll see you guys next time. Jaden Hollow out.